Clippers are down 0-2 to the Mavericks and now face a virtual must-win as the series shifts to Dallas on Friday. However, for better or worse, LA is still confident they'll get the job done, with Ty Lue telling reporters he wasn't concerned at all. Lue continued, quote, "We got to win 4 games, and you come onto the opposing team's floor and you play. There's no pressure on you to make shots because you're just trying to come in and steal 1 game or 2 games. Now they got to go home and try to keep up the same shooting. It's easy to come on the road and do that when there is no pressure." So, Shannon, did you like that he said this, and what do you expect in games 3 and 4?
Skip, I expected him to say this. But I don't believe him. I don't know if he believes himself, Skip. They came in your building, and you said you rested, you wanted to be healthy, you're fully healthy. There's nobody out, you have Serge back, you have all your guys playing on all cylinders. And they've come into your building and done this. So I get what he's saying, but I remember hearing something similar last year, Skip. They was up 3-1, and then all of a sudden it was 3-2. Oh, we ain't got nothing. Paul George, we ain't got no pressure. They still got to win. And then it was 3-3. Ain't no pressure on us. Hey, they got to win a 4th game. They got to win 1 more game. And we're in our building. And guess what? They lost 3 straight. Now, they've lost 5 straight ball games when what seemingly wasn't no pressure on them. They didn't have anything to lose. Yes, you do. You know why? Because you're talked about, you're one of the teams, one of the 3 or 4 teams that all year, Skip, that says this team has a chance to win a championship. Nobody talked about the Mavericks winning the championship. Let's go back and look at the odds makers, what Fox Bet said and what some of these other gaming houses said the odds were for the Mavericks. And let's see what the Clippers were. All the pressure is on the Clippers. You're supposed to have the 2 best players on the court all the time. And Luka Doncic is the best player on the court thus far in this series. And if you can't get him under wraps, you're not going to be able to beat the Dallas Mavericks. So I don't have a problem with what Ty Lue said. He has to send that confidence, Skip. He's the leader of the team. And you don't want to be like, man, yeah, we got our work cut out for it because right now we don't, whatever we seem to be doing is not working. No, I want a show of strength. We ain't worried. Hey, they still got to win 4 games. It's only 2. So they're halfway there. I like our chances. I like what we got. We still have Paul George. We still have a great team. Our mindset is in the right place. I love him saying all that. But do you think, after what you saw these first 2 games, he actually believed that? Absolutely not. Now, once upon a time, he was down 3-1, and he had a guy. But that was a guy.
Kyrie.
Hey, see, there you go, Skip. You ruined my story.
The guy who made the last shot that won the game.
I do not believe Ty Lue deep down inside, Skip, believes that he has nothing to worry about. He knows he has to worry because this team can smell blood. And Skip, the thing is, they believe they can beat them because of the way they played them last year, Skip, minus Porzingis. And Luka was hobbled. That's the worst thing you could do with someone is give them the hope that they can beat you because now they'll play out of their mind.
I believe the Dallas Mavericks will continue to shoot out of their minds at Dallas in games 3 and 4, which will take place at 8:30 Dallas time on Friday night and then 8:30 again on Dallas time on Sunday.
Right.
I believe this series is way over. But I will admit to you, I was surprised by what Ty Lue said, and I kind of liked what he said.
Yes.
Because there is some validity in the big picture. If you look at history, reverting to the mean, as they say, that this will happen, that Dallas will have a hard time shooting the ball the way they shot it at the Clippers, because who can shoot like that for 4 straight games, let alone 2 straight?
San Antonio did to the Heat.
Okay, to LeBron's Heat.
Yeah.
By a record finals margin, okay? That's one. You got me. But as Ty Lue said, look, he's trying to publicly say there's no panic in me, there's no desperation in me.
But you can't play, Ty Lue.
Okay, I got it. But he said, I've been an underdog my whole life. I've been fighting from way down low my whole life.
Yes.
And he has.
Yes.
So he didn't even flinch. He didn't crack a smile. He didn't do anything. He was just stone-faced when he just flat out stated, just laid it right on the table, that it's hard to go home and keep shooting like that because the pressure will start to grow on the home team to make the same shots that they made with no pressure at Clippers. Remember, they were 6-point underdog the first game. They were 6.5 last night.
Right.
Did anybody really expect them to win 2 games to the Clippers?
No.
You didn't.
No.
Who did you pick in the 2 games? Well, you picked the Clippers.
But let me ask you a question, Skip. does the pressure not mount on the road team knowing that you're down 0-2? So why did it's not like you? I'd rather be going home up 2-0 as opposed to be going on the road down 0-2.
Okay, but who has the deeper reservoir of confidence? Well, the Clippers led the league in three-point shooting, and they led the league in free throw shooting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say it again. The Clippers ranked 18th in three-point shooting. They ranked 15th in free throw shooting.
No, you mean the Mavericks.
I'm sorry, the Mavericks. Ranked 18th in three-point shooting, 15th in free throw shooting,
right,
and then 14th in field goal shooting. So they're middle of the pack at best in shooting the basketball. Well, won't they revert to form at some point in the series? The odds are, yes, they will.
Well, if you were playing a defensive team, but your guys don't play defense, Skip, your guys are reputation-based now.
Okay.
Kawhi is not that same defender.
Okay,
neither
remember,
is Paul George.
The Mavericks have played mad in the first two games because they thought the Clippers disrespected them by tanking to get to them.
Yes.
Okay, now that's going to wear off a little bit, and now they're expected to win, and I'm sure that I haven't looked at what the line is yet. Maybe, I'm not sure we even have one yet, but but watch, they'll be favored by, I assume...
4.5, 2 points.
Huh? 3 or 4 points, maybe.
You think so?
Yeah. But hey, they've just been wiping them out. They've had no answer for anybody. So here's the point of last night. I told you, I didn't mind Luka making 5 out of 13. He's a career 33% three-point shooter. It didn't bother me that much. What bothered me is that Tim Hardaway Jr. made 6 of 8 threes. That's a killer. What killed me was that Porzingis made 3 of 4 threes. What just shot me right in the heart was Kleba took 2 threes and made them both. How can you beat that? That's 3 starters who made 11 of 15, and then the other starter 5 of 13 is Luka.
Yep.
Well, that for him, he's shooting out of his mind, but that you can live with that because that's only like 38%, which is a little better than his 35 this year. But still, will those guys, will Porzingis and Hardaway shoot the ball like they did? I doubt it.
Could I ask you a question, Skip? What is in the history's Clipper? In the history of the Clippers that says, you know what, we've been so mentally tough because you remember, Skip, they've been up 3-1. And lost the series on several occasions. So what is it? And
by the way, you remember that they won those first 3 games against Denver last year by double digits.
Yes.
They were just rocking and socking them. And it was hard to fathom that all of a sudden you can't find the basket after you won the first 3. Well, that could happen. Listen, the Dallas Mavericks with Luka at the helm have shown occasionally to be a little fragile psychologically. They have. Listen, Luka, if it starts to go wrong, he'll start to point fingers. His body language gets terrible. He hangs his head.
But body language for your guys was terrible last night, Skip.
Well, I got it. But that was because it's their house, and they're shooting them in the heart in their own house.
But
do you know how lethal the three-point shot is? It's just psychologically devastating. And every time, I have a thing when I'm watching at home, when somebody launches one and it's a high degree of difficulty, I just say no. And every time they did one of those last night, no would swish. And I finally said, I can't say that anymore. So when they start shooting, when Lucas started shooting in the second half, I'd say, that's good. And it wouldn't be good because he had a long, hard second half shooting threes. He wasn't nearly as devastating in the second half as he was in the first half.
But Skip, I think it's time for us to come to the conclusion, come to the realization that what you thought was going to be a strong suit of the Clippers, starting last year when they constructed this team with mental toughness.
We'll see.
Is we haven't seen that mental toughness, Skip, that you talked about and so many others talked about.
Well, Chris talked about it. Chris Broussard even more than I did. He says the Clippers have that dog in them. Now, that was with Lou Will and Montrez, and they're gone, obviously.
They must be talking about Papillons or Chihuahuas or, you know, something like that. They ain't talking about no real dogs.
Bichons?
I can't tell. Skip, but you keep telling me Luka is this, he not. But Skip, you got to get a man the credit. Go on and get Baby Bird. Just call him Baby Bird one time. You'll feel better.
He can't shoot. So I checked this out. Larry Bird missed 4 free throws twice in 164 playoff games. Luka's played 8 playoff games so far. He's missed 4 or more, 5 out of the 8 games. He can't shoot free throws. He's disqualified. Sorry.
You do realize that when Larry Bird was Luka's age, he was at Indiana State.
Okay. Could he make free throws at Indiana State? You better believe he could. 90%.
See, this man got his mama house. He paid. There's one thing, you know, you shooting free throws in a dorm. It's another thing to shoot free throws for a living.
Okay. I will bet you in game 3 that the home team Mavericks don't shoot